Hello everyone and welcome to Long's Toys. I have another Kamen Rider Ghost review for you today. This is third in the Ghost Change series, Kamen Rider Specter. So we take a look at the packaging here. You'll notice that Specter looks very similar to Ghost. Just kind of a bluish cobalt or teal color as opposed to orange. Cool picture on the side here. Another cool picture on this side. Not too much going on that you can't already see there on the top. Bottom. On the back shows the kind of hoodie or parka, a lot of whatever people are calling these things. I call them hoodies. But you can see Ghost here. This is for GC-01, GC-02. Compatibility is there, which we'll also take a look at. So we'll go ahead, we'll get them out of the packaging, and we'll take a closer look. So these are the three accessories you get out of the package. I just want to clarify real quick that this clear plastic stand does not come with this. I borrowed that temporarily from the GC-02 set, just, to kind of display this a little better for the video so it's not just lying on the ground. But that stand does not come with this. You just get the hoodie, the figure, and then you get the little accessory here. I'm going to take a look at this first. It's a decent accessory. It's got a decent amount of detail molded into it, which is nice. It's kind of a bummer that it's a solid color, but that's kind of standard fare for most of these gimmick figures. The weapons usually don't have a ton of paint or any paint at all. The one thing that does kind of really bother me is you can kind of see there's a little joint here, and it would have been nice if the hand could just come back and close down on this, exposing the barrel of the gun. Unfortunately, there's no articulation in this thing. It is one solid piece of plastic. So that's kind of my biggest problem with this accessory. It's not a huge deal, but it would have been nice if you could have just folded this part back just so you could have both the hand and the gun mode out of that. Would have been neat. As far as the figure goes, it is very, very similar to Ghost's figure to the point that I think it's the exact same mold, just with this kind of cobalt metallic blue paint instead of orange. But I really love this color blue, and I think it looks fantastic on the figure. So it suckered me. I had to have it. As you can see, the torso is kind of clear. You can still see my fingers and everything through there. It's kind of a translucent, but not like transparent plastic. It's rather opaque in some spots, and because it's kind of a darker color in certain areas, it almost looks like it's solid black, but I believe it is completely translucent. You can mostly see it here in the chest. But I absolutely love the cobalt kind of metallic blue color. I think that looks fantastic. Again, the driver looks good. Paint here on the handle. It's got all the same articulation as the Ghost figure. Ball joint for the head. Same shoulder articulation. Bicep swivel. Elbow, wrist, hands, waist. Or I should say hips. Thigh swivel. You got the regular knee and then ball joint for the feet. So exactly the same articulation that we saw for the Ghost figure. And Specter's kind of hoodie, his Ghost hoodie, is almost identical to Ghost's. I mean, I believe it's the same mold, just obviously with the orange paint replaced with more of this really sharp cobalt metallic blue. And then the only other difference is here in the mask. You can see this flips up and he's got two horns instead of one. Now, the bluish color for the face is kind of hard to see because there's so much, dark in here. Even if I took it off of this, I think it would be hard to see. You can kind of see it a little bit. You'll see it much better when we go ahead and place it on the figure. But this hoodie is almost identical to Ghost's. I believe it's the exact same mold. You can see the arms are the same. It even has the kind of articulation to have that coming out like that. And it transforms exactly the same way as well. These little pieces just flip around 180. You're going to leave this part up, and then you're going to kind of drop it down. And I apologize, I always have trouble. Oh, wow, went right on that time. Sweet. All right. Apparently I just have to mention it. So, for me, getting the back shoulder parts hooked in is always the most pain in the butt, but I guess I'm getting to be a pro at it the more I do it. Now you can see what I'm talking about with the face. The blue is definitely easier to see now. And I really like the look of that. I overall just really love this blue paint scheme. If they would have just made Ghost this color from the beginning, I wouldn't even need Specter. I mean, I do like the orange of Ghost, but I love this blue on Specter. I love it. I think it looks great. Get that to stick back in. Getting him to hold the weapon is not difficult. You just open up the hands, pop it in, and close it around. You can go ahead, what I would do, because it's kind of a long weapon, I turn his wrist up and get him to hold it in this hand, and then I kind of bring this hand around to hold it over here. So it just takes a little bit of finagling, but you can get him to hold it just like that, and he's ready to start some trouble. So there you go. Again, it's a bit of a cumbersome weapon, and I don't really know that much he can do with it since it doesn't have the gun. I haven't seen him use this on the show yet, so I don't really know if he like just whacks people with it like it's a sword, or if he just kind of reaches out and grabs stuff as a hand. I've seen him use, actually I have seen him use it as a gun, but I haven't really seen too much with the hand. So I'm not really sure how that's going to work. But overall, I really like the look of the figure. The weapon's a little weird, but not that big a deal. I just wanted to illustrate real quick that this is the same figure. The gimmick works all the same. So you can go ahead and pop on any of the other hoodies, ghost hoodies on here. So here he is with Musashi. I haven't really seen him use any of Ghosts yet. In the episode I just watched, he stole Edison from him, but I haven't seen him use Edison yet. So I don't know if he would like materialize Ghost's sword, or if that's specific only to Ghost and he would just use the gun from the Gongun hand. Interested to see how that works. If he did steal this one, I don't know how he would get two swords. So that would be interesting. I'd be interested to see how that works. But as you can see, he can use the gimmick, so any of the hoodies can go on any of the figures, and they all look pretty good. I think the red and blue here it's a nice color scheme, looks pretty good. But yes, you can use any of the hoodies on either of these figures. Personally, I love Specter, but it's really just because I kind of like his design with the two horns, and I absolutely love his color scheme. Blue is my favorite color, and I love this metallic cobalt blue, paint. I just think it looks fantastic. But that's really just me personally. If you have Ghost and you don't care about having another figure that's very similar, I could see how you'd pass on this because it is very similar to Ghost. The Ghost hoodie is almost exactly the same except for the paint. The figure is exactly the same except for the paint. And you're getting a different little weapon, which in its own right is a little bit lackluster. So I could see how you'd want to pass on this. But if you just like the character of Specter, or if you love the color scheme like I do, you might want to look into picking this up. It's got the same limitations as far as the head posability once the hoodie is on. They didn't really fix that in any way, and I don't think they're going to. I think it's just something you're going to have to live with if you're collecting this gimmick line. But I personally like it, and again, a lot of that has to do with the color scheme. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below, if you are continuing with this line, if you're passing, because I've heard a lot of people say, they can't get over the head posability, and also they're just not that impressed. And this line does seem like it's going to be very heavy on merchandise, because there's a ton of figures coming out, there's a ton of Ghost hoodie sets, there's a bunch of icons, it's a lot of stuff being thrown at us, so keeping up is a bit difficult, so I can understand if some people are going to let a few pieces go. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you'll be picking this up or not, I'd love to hear from you. Please like and share this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I hope you've enjoyed this look at Kamen Rider Ghost GC-03, Kamen Rider Specter, and thanks for watching.